We finally got the announcement for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I think there's like a pie chart of just how people are. I think 50% of the people are based off nostalgia. They're getting it no matter what because it's Nintendo's brand. Then you have 45% of people who may or may not get it because they just didn't like the announcement. And it's going to take a little more than just the gimmicks that Nintendo has with the Joy-Cons to get them to buy it. And then you have 5% who's probably just waiting for the games. And I think that's what Nintendo is really going to get us on. What kind of games are we going to see on the Switch 2? And sometimes it has to just be that, right? It has to only be what kind of games are you selling? Because you look at how the Switch sold and you look at how it was selling. It was the software, it was the games that helped propel it to the level that it's at. We're talking millions of people buying this, outselling Xbox, outselling the PS5. Millions of people love the Switch, and I have a Switch. I love it. And I hope that Nintendo announces the Switch Lite just to keep that same style of how they've always been selling their handhelds. We had the DS, DS Lite, the 3DS, 2DS, Game Boy, Game Boy SP. We had many variations of that handheld. And I hope once they announce the Switch 2 date and price, we finally get a Switch Lite. Maybe it'll be a little bigger. I'm hoping it'll be a little bigger. And yeah, Nintendo, make that happen. But there's so much to talk about this. It's like, to be honest with you, I'm a little indifferent. I I don't like the Joy-Cons, and just because they magnetized them and decided to make them look like you can use them as a mouse, it's not enough for me. I to be honest with you, I think I would be fine with Nintendo using the light and just made it much bigger. I think I would have been fine with that. I like my Steam Deck and I like my Rock Ally, and those are not detachable handhelds. So what can Nintendo do to compete with them? We're having talks about Nintendo's Switch 2 is going to be as powerful as a PS4 or a PS4 Pro. But the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally and other PC handhelds seem to already be in that comfort of power. The Steam Deck output is 800. The ROG Ally output is 1080. This kind of just proves what the video I've made, my first video about the next Nintendo, it has to have 900p handheld. Hell, it needs to be 1080p handheld if it's going to do PlayStation 4, Xbox One graphics, which was a pretty good graphics point. I think that's where we've been since. What about docking it? Docking has to be at least upscaled. They're talking about using NVIDIA's upscaling, DLSS. Again, the ROG Ally, Steam Deck, the Lenovo Go, they all use AMD's upscaling, and it helps change the game a lot. And it helps change how long you can perform with the handheld and play the games. If Nintendo is thinking of selling this system at $399 at the highest price point, that's fine, because it still can, at least price wise, it still competes with the Steam Deck. The ROG Ally is finally dropping in pricing, but it's still over $400 for that. And a lot of people don't want to deal with Windows. And I get why. Windows does at times be clunky. At times. But the Lenovo Go uses Steam Decks. Sorry, it uses the Switch idea. Detachable handheld. People love that. So Nintendo has to find a way to get these third party games to run on their system while at the same time getting better games. At this point, we all starting to believe that the exclusive market is starting to die out. So how is it going to benefit Nintendo? And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I want to see another Mario Kart, or let's just say I know I'm not going to get Mario Kart 9 or 10, whichever one this is supposed to be. You're going to have this hard tell. We're going to need more first person shooters. We might even need more mature games. Find a way to get some of these hardcore games that comes out on both consoles and PC and get them onto the Switch too. And I think that's where the only time exclusivity will matter. Because like I said in my previous videos about the Switch, the games is what keep you there. And surely enough, this is going to be the time where Nintendo has to wow us with the games. Like I said, 50% of the people that's going to buy it are based off of nostalgia. Not me, even though Nintendo was like my first gaming platform. And I think it's for a lot of us at my age, probably. And what are they going to do if the games just don't sell? Could this go down as the worst system? Probably not. I think the Wii U will always be their worst system ever. But there's going to be a lot of competition this year going forward when it comes to handhelds. Nintendo's going to have some work, and they're going to have to wow us. I don't think 50% of buyers are going to be enough. I think they're going to need to get 80%. 80% of us need to be sold on the Nintendo Switch, and they're going to need to give us more than Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and we're talking about a system that can only play certain Switch games when it comes to this backwards compatibility. Not all, certain. And that might be a small demographic. We don't know. Everything is speculation still. I'm just trying to vent and see where Nintendo's going to go once this system announced. And I really hope they bring back the Lite. Don't get rid of it, Nintendo. The Lite was a really good system. It was just a smaller Switch. I get it. But the price was where everybody liked. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys think the Switch 2 is just going to sell like hotcakes, or you think it's going to take time for it to really show what it can do? Because at the end of the day, the games is what's mattering. And if we can't play good games, why even buy a system? Let me know down below. Peace.